Hi everyone, this is BRIO Boy 2009, and this is the BRIO 33052 Deluxe Railway Set. A stark and colorful contrast to the rugged 1950s American flyer trains idling behind, this is the most extensive railway set from BRIO. Quote, with 87 pieces, it lets your imagination run wild, as stated by its instructional video in 2012. And this statement could not be truer. The set itself, to quote said video, includes 3 stations, 3 bridges, rail and road tracks, a metro train, a passenger train, a freight train, a bus and a truck, and even a harbor crane with an accompanying freight ship. There are plenty of details, including a ticket machine, road signs, and 5 characters, all of which are on board the trains and the aforementioned bus. The set's pieces number 87 in total, and even with this much excitement, with 3 trains, one of which even having light and sound features upon being moved, the set may still be a little bit bland for the over 300 families that have purchased it in the month of July of 2025 alone, a true testament to its popularity. Naturally, many families will want to add the gimmick of a motorized train, a battery-powered engine from BRIO's famous line of battery-powered engines, one that can move itself along the track by itself, without having to be pushed by the player. So in this video, we will be testing 8 different battery-powered trains that BRIO makes, and seeing how each of these trains handles the deluxe railway set, with its many sharp, narrow bends. Really the only thing that people dislike about the set is the fact that it has so many of these sharp bends that BRIO trains do not take too kindly. But, regardless, trains do take them kindly whenever they want to, and that's what this video is going to prove. These are our contenders, so now let's get to it. To perform these tests, all 3 trains that are included in the set have been removed from the track, thus leaving clear, empty space for these trains to run. Our first contender will be the mighty red action locomotive. Quite frankly, it is one of the most popular battery-powered BRIO engines to buy out there, and I have a whole review on this locomotive, which I will link in the description below. The same goes for any trains that I have the reviews on, which of course is all of them. The reviews to all of these trains will be linked in the description. The engine, of course, does freewheel, but for the purposes of this video, all trains will be powered, and they will make the entire loop. Through the metro station, having, right as I say it, the engine in particular doesn't actually like it that much when there's a curve, then a straight, then another curve. It likes to take curves gently at its own time. That's the main loop complete. Now we'll send it on the upper loop. Note that they will occasionally jump the T-switches, so it's best you have the set set up on a train table with high edges, or on the floor. These are the only broad curves in the set, and the engines naturally make it through quite easily. A major problem with the Mighty Red Action locomotive is its tag-along trolley that it uses to connect to cars. So it is a little bit tedious and not very happy going in reverse. Also due in part to the fact that the cab has a large overhang at the end of it, which clips on the bridges. Overall, the engine does pretty good in forwards, only having derailed once and twice. It only derailed twice in these two areas right here. But other than that, it's quite a stellar performer. Up next will be another familiar face, the two-way battery-powered engine, which in my case features the boiler from the train from the steam engine set. But nevertheless, it is the same train engine. This also counts for the simple battery-powered engine and the two-way battery-powered engine. This is more on the conventional side of BRIO battery-powered locomotives. Through the metro station. It didn't derail there. Kids will have a lot of fun seeing the lights of the engines inside the tunnels. That's the main loop done. This one naturally goes to the opposite direction which it just turned. It's good at climbing hills by itself, but not necessarily with other cars in tow. The popular battery-operated action train has the trouble of not being able to make it up hills, so it will naturally need assistance. Overall, this is actually a better performer than the Mighty Red Action locomotive, despite it being slower. And keep in mind, I am running these trains light engine. You may have some other benefits or issues that I don't have, so this is purely speculatory. Another very popular battery-operated train to purchase for the little ones is the travel battery train, which is represented here, in my case, by the blue battery-operated train from the travel switching set. They're the same train. This one is particularly good at rounding the curves, though I don't really suggest you run very long trains with these. This one will also naturally turn in the direction that it has previously turned. Once you get the train up a hill, that's when the trouble starts. Travel engines are a little bit notorious for not making it up hills, not to mention the arms of the drivers can also be caught on bridges that come directly after corners. Now then, what if you're like me and you own the travel switching set? You're happy that the set comes with the full red travel train, but not the full blue travel train. So, let's add the extra car and see how the full blue travel train handles the set. Right away, the engine doesn't really seem to think there's anything of extra weight behind it. The young ones may have to guide the train around turnouts to where they want it to go. This is the problem with travel battery engines. They can't really pull a fully loaded travel train up a bridge, so they will need assistance. But other than that, they're pretty good on the rest of the layout. Even if it goes up like it just did, it'll still keep on the rails. That one was pretty solid. Next will be the freight battery engine. This may also substitute for engine number 4 in the Cargo Railway Deluxe set, or in the now discontinued crane set. They're the same train, once again. This one will be run light engine, and it is completely up to your imagination what you put behind it. These also have a tendency to jump the T-switches because they're lighter at the front end. Next is the SmartTech Sound engine. And it'll be pulling one SmartTech Sound coach. This engine does have the same wheelbase as the Mighty Red action locomotive, so its performance is relatively like that of the Mighty Red. It is a bit slower than the Mighty Red, but both have really good traction thanks to their high gearing and large drive wheels. Next up will be the battery-operated steaming train with its water tender. This one's pretty popular because it does have real steam effects, just like an actual steam locomotive. I don't know how well you folks can see the steam effects on camera, but they are there. This one's actually doing pretty good. So that one did pretty good. I think this is the best performing one out of them so far. I think this and engine number 7. Our penultimate contestant is the RC Travel Train with its coach. This test will be done at the highest of its 2 speed settings. Oh. Like I said, it is pretty common for these engines to derail on the shorter tracks. So if you have long stretches of track where there's like the shorter curved tracks, then these may not necessarily be for you. And you might have to update your layout. This one is also not pretty good at climbing hills. I think this is, unfortunately, the worst performer yet. I do not own any of the other BRIO remote control trains, so I am unable to test their functionality on this layout. Our final contender is the 36003 Turbo Train with its coach. This one also has the big geared driving wheel. But then again, it does have a big overhang on the nose cone, and that makes the reason as to why it derails a little bit more clear. Keep in mind, this set was designed in the 2010s, and this train came out in 2023, so it wasn't really designed with this one in mind. Because this is the turbo train, people will naturally want to do turbo time on it, so how would that look? It will get stuck on the T-switches, mind you. Nevertheless, although these trains derail quite frequently, they can take it. BRIO tests their toys 25% more than the law demands. And so, there you have it. Myself, I would say the good engines to buy for the Deluxe Railway set would be the Mighty Red Action Locomotive, the Freight Battery Engine, the two-way battery-powered engine, the battery-operated steaming train, and the SmartTech sound engine. The remote control engines and the turbo train just don't like to fare well with this set, apparently. They don't really track well on it. And that's mainly because of how they're designed. So yeah, that is my testing on how 8 popular BRIO wooden train battery-operated engines tackle the Deluxe Railway set, which will more than likely be purchased by countless families for their children, and will make the gift that keeps on giving, quite literally, because BRIO has always been a gift that kept on giving, at least in my eyes. This concludes our testing, and I will see you all down the wooden line on BRIO Boy 2009. And as always, keep your friends close and your trains closer.